First reading today is a story of the children of Israel in the wilderness, when they've been wandering in the wilderness for a long time. And it says that the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, "Oh, that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, where we sat by the pots of meat and when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill the whole assembly with hunger." Who knows the word melodramatic? Anyone know what melodramatic means? When you're being really emotional and you're taking something that should be this big and making it this big. The children of Israel were hungry, and so they said to Moses and Aaron, "You're trying to kill us with hunger." If you're really hungry and you say, "Mom, I'm hungry," and Mom says, "Wait until dinner," does it make sense to say, "You're trying to kill me"? That's melodramatic. Of course, the Lord was not trying to kill the children of Israel. He was actually taking very good care of them. And so, in the story, the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you. And the people shall go out and gather a certain quota every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not." It says that in the morning there was dew all around the camp. And when the layer of dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance as fine as frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. And this is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's need, 1 omer for each person." An omer is a measurement. It's a little less than a gallon. And he says, 1 omer for each person according to the number of persons. Let every man take for those who are in his tent. And then the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more and some less. So when they measured it by omers, he who had gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack. Every man had gathered according to each one's need. And Moses said, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." But some of them didn't listen, and they left part of it till morning, and it bred worms and stank, and Moses was angry with them. And so they gathered it every morning, each man according to his need. So the commandment was that they could go out and gather the manna, but they could only take 1 omer for each person, no more, and they had to use it all up that day. They couldn't leave any of it for the next day. And the children of Israel were probably anxious that they weren't going to get enough food, so they might have wanted to gather as much as they possibly could and hoard it in case there was no manna the next day. They said they weren't allowed to do that. They had to just take enough for each person for each day. And the people who gathered more had nothing left over, but the people who gathered less had everything they needed. And it says that the house of Israel called the name of this bread manna, and it was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Now, nobody really knows what the manna looked like, or really knows what it tasted like, except for the children of Israel. But it said that it looked like white coriander seed, and it tasted like wafers made with honey. And I have coriander seed and wafers that made with honey, and if you would like to come look more closely, please do. It says it was a small round substance, so it's probably smaller than these pieces of bread that I have here. And it said the color was like this. This is coriander seed. Don't touch it, or we'll have coriander seed all over the floor. And so the color of the manna was something like this. Maybe it was a little paler because I said it was white, and that doesn't really look white, but sort of looked like that. And then it tasted like bread made with honey. And if you just give me a second, give you a chance to taste this. Now, like I said, no one really knows what the bread tasted like, and it probably tasted better than this because the Lord made it. I made this myself. I'm giving all of you different size pieces. I'm sorry. But that's a taste of a wafer made with honey. Just give you maybe some idea of what manna might have tasted like. You can go back to your seats. Now, why do you think that the Lord said they only could gather enough for one day at a time? Like I said, they were probably anxious, and they probably would have felt better if they could have gathered enough for a whole week at a time, and then they would have said, at least we won't die for another week. But the Lord said that they could only have enough for one day, and if they tried to keep more, it started to stink and have worms in it. What is happening to us if we only gather enough for one day? Or what happened to the children of Israel if they only gathered enough for one day? What would they have to do if they only had enough food to get them through each day? They would have to trust that the Lord would give them more the next day. The Lord wanted them to not be trying to think that they had enough all by themselves. The Lord wanted them to remember that they needed the Lord to give them more food each day. He wanted them to trust in Him, because trusting in the Lord is what really makes us feel at peace. Trusting in the Lord is what really makes us feel taken care of. And the Lord asks us to trust also that He's going to give us new good things every single day. Can any of you think of something good that you've already had today? Some of you just got wafers made with honey. Breakfast, perfect. You've already got some good things today. Do you think you're going to get more good things tomorrow? From the Lord, exactly. If every day our thought when we go to bed is that we're going to get more good things when we wake up tomorrow, our hearts are at peace. That kind of peace is what the Lord wants for us. And that's the peace that we know when we trust that He will give us good things every day. And those good things are what we're praying for when we say the Lord's Prayer and we ask for our daily bread. And we ask to be given good things every single day. The Lord will always, always give us our daily bread. Amen. Let us